online, on your mobile, and on your smart speaker. You're listening to the voice of a new generation. This is KIC Radio.
Hello, you're listening to Ukrainian Band with Anna.
Serhi.
And Margot.
And today we're going to talk about the impact on the lives of Ukrainian teenagers, the feelings about moving countries, and the overall feelings about the war. The first topic we want to talk about is why Ukrainians can speak Russian and the inside conflict because of knowing this language. From what I know, it's a pretty complicated topic for a lot of Ukrainians, especially for the teenagers, because a lot of people are facing the inside conflict with themselves because for knowing the language of the people who basically terrorizing our country. So, Sergei, what language were you usually speaking before the war started?
Before the war, I speak every time of my life Ukrainian because I born in the part of Ukraine like when the most speak Ukrainian and yeah.
Okay, I got you. What about you, Maga?
So all my life I've been speaking Russian with my family, and when I wanted to speak like Ukrainian after the war started, like I realized that I need to change something because it's not really right thing to do. Yeah. So my family just judged me and kind of that stuff.
Well, that's a pretty usual thing because a lot of my friends face the same thing about they wanting to switch the languages and talk Ukrainian daily basis, but all of their family who spoke Russian since their childhood just starting to gaslight these kids into thinking that it
doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter basically, and language is not actually a thing to worry about, and it's just a way to talk. Even though they just don't realizing that language is basically a face of your country and your culture, and you need to support your own country, especially at this war, and that's why you basically should switch languages. For all of my life, I've spoke Russian with my family and my friends, and I spoke Ukrainian only in my school with my teachers. And at the start, people were usually like more chill about the language, but now if you still speak in Russian, you might be judged for it, but it really depends on the people who you're talking to about that. I had some friends who started researching into this topic, and they switched languages. They suddenly started like talking Ukrainian to me. I asked them like, what's up with the language? And they were like, oh, well, you just like should switch languages because Russian is basically the language of the people who killing us and terrorizing our country. So like maybe you should just do some research. For example, me, I don't think I would judge people for the language they speaking, but I still think it's really important to realize and understand that it's been more than 2 years since the war started, and I think it's the time to understand where you actually from and who the Russians are. But I don't think that I would really like judge someone and like stop being friends with them, because a lot of my other friends have stopped being friends with some people just because they didn't want to switch the language, or just were saying like stuff like it doesn't matter. Yeah,
I'm actually like more comfortable speaking Ukrainian rather than Russian, but
yeah, but since you told me that Yonana's not really chill with it because of the Soviet mindset she still has, it might be a little complicated to speak Ukrainian in your household, even though you like
I speak with you Russian. Sorry, Ukrainian.
Yeah, you're speaking Ukrainian with me, and when I'm coming to your house, Yonan is also speaking Ukrainian with me, and I really don't understand why she's so like
same stuff.
Yeah. I really say yeah, because I don't know. Basically, I also know because I speak to some Russian people, and they say like, I say where I live in Ukraine, and they say the part of the Ukraine where I live, it's like Bandera Park, part. Sorry, yeah, and it sounds like disrespectful. And in my area, yeah, every people, yeah, sorry, speak Ukrainian language, and they like says. To other people who spoke Russian, switch the language and support the Ukraine like this.
It's actually It's actually sad that like you switched to Russian just because of your friends and.
Yeah, it's really sad. It's really sad because in my own language it's more easy and complicated for me, like speak to my friends. But I meet some friends, new friends here, and they speak Ukrainian, but most of the time they speak Russian.
They can just you can just speak Ukrainian and they can just speak Russian, so
yeah,
you understand each other.
So yeah,
you'll understand each other perfectly.
Yeah.
In any language.
So don't be afraid just to speak
you
Ukrainian.
don't need to break your own comfort.
Yeah, okay.
And just
because
your choice.
I had the same thingy about switching the language with my friends. So like to my friends who spoke Ukrainian, I spoke Ukrainian to them, and to my friends who spoke Russian, I spoke Russian as well. But after I understood that Ukrainian language is more important to me, because I want to know more about my culture and my country, and I want to support it fully, I just stopped breaking my own comfort for my friends. And I'm not friends with any like Russian people or anything, obviously. So when I'm speaking to my Ukrainian friends who's speaking Russian to me, I'm still speaking Ukrainian to them because they still can understand me fully. Yeah. So a little bit about the inside conflict is I've noticed that a lot of people in my surroundings, especially like my friends, are having an inside conflict for knowing this language, because if you know why do Ukrainians actually know Russian, that's pretty understandable why you can have the inside hatred inside of yourself, because the knowing of Russian language is the fact of terrorizing our country by them for lots of centuries actually. So, because Ukraine, like 30 years ago, it was a part of Soviet Union, and before that, it was a part of Russian Empire. So, basically, Ukrainian people, for them, they were usually like slaves, kinda, and Ukrainian language was banned by Russian government 146 times, if I'm correct. So, if you speak in Ukrainian at that time, while you had the Russian government who banned it, if you spoke Ukrainian, you could have been killed or just face the repressions. So our ancestors were forced to learn Russian and speak Russian on a daily basis. That's why on the west of Ukraine, like Sergei said, people speaking Ukrainian more because it's pretty far from Russia. It's near the Poland. So, and there, people kind of kept the tradition to speak Ukrainian. People who living on the east are more of a Russian speakers, like Maga, she's from the east, and I'm from central. So, I kind of like, I spoke both on a daily basis, but mostly Russian, because all of my family did. Yeah. So, just the fact that the knowing of Russian language is so just for knowing the fact why Ukrainians know this language and why we can speak it, a lot of people getting the inside conflict, and that's why everybody's switching now.
Here we go! Let's go! This is KIC Radio.
Another topic we wanted to talk about is how the war started and how we experienced the first couple of days of it. Sergei, do you want to start?
Yeah, basically, when the war started, I've been in home, yeah, and what first I see, it's bombing, and what's the things first I do, I'm be really scared, and I'm worried about my grandma, because she's been in hospital, and I scared about her, and yeah, because we live in the area nearby the army base. So I'd be scared for my grandparents, my family. So yeah.
So basically, when the war started, I just remember how I woke up and was getting to school, yeah. And I saw my grandmother, which, like, she was looking after me when my mother was in another country. And she just said, like, Margot, the war just started, and yeah, so probably that's all. I wasn't really scared. I don't know why. Like, my brain went numb. I don't know how to describe it, but so yeah. Then we just moved to the other country for a couple of months.
At the time the war started, I've been living with my nan and my younger sister. My mom were living in the same city with my stepdad, but in another area. So it was the random Thursday, I'm pretty sure. And I woke up at like 5 or 6 a.m. Didn't know like why. I just randomly woke up and I noticed that my dad was calling me. I don't live with my dad, and I'm contacting him. I usually just don't. And we're speaking like once in a year probably, but he was calling me, but I didn't pick up because I was like, yo, why would he call me at 6 a.m? So I was heading to my kitchen to have some water, and so I've been living in an apartment on the 9th floor, and I heard like some like clapping noises from outside, but I didn't really like mind it, or I just haven't really noticed it. So I just got some water and came back to sleep. And after 15 minutes of trying to go to sleep, I've heard that my nan was getting a call from someone, and after like 30 seconds she was waking up and starting like, yo, like, everyone wake up, the war started. So we just started packing up stuff to go to the basement. We had the basement in my school, which was like 8 minutes walk from my house. So we needed to walk there for 8 minutes. There were alarms everywhere, kinda. And after 2 days of just hiding in the basement, or just like going home for maybe like 20 minutes, I've met up with my mom and my stepdad, and obviously my older sister, and we just got on a taxi and just moved to another country. It was pretty traumatizing, I'd say, because no one was really expecting it. I mean, a lot of people thought that the war was gonna start because there were rumors about that the war was gonna start in like this winter or probably spring, but no one really believed it because like everyone thought that, like, why would Russian do that and stuff. But it still started, and when I was moving countries, I didn't really had any stuff with me. Like, I just had a bag with like some shirts probably, and like just some stuff. I broke my phone when I was in the basement, so I didn't have any phone for like a week to contact my friends. And then when like I contacted my friends, I just wanted to make sure that everyone's alright, because my friend just stayed in my city. And for first 2 days of the war, I've been in Kiev, in my city. And that's where the most like brutal battles were for first couple of days. The cities near the Kiev, Bucha and Irpin were completely destroyed. If you can do a research on the internet, there's a lot of news about that, about lots of raping, killing, just destroying. And it was really close to where I lived. It was like 40 kilometers from my house, so when I was going to sleep, I heard like the sounds and stuff. You okay?
I'm ready.
So it was quite a lot. And in the next episode, we're gonna talk about the impact on life and experience of moving countries, and also the struggles to find friends and just meet new people in UK. It was really fun to do with all of you guys. You've been listening to Ukrainian band on KIC Radio. Goodbye.
Bye
Goodbye.
bye.
On the KIC Radio app and online at kicradio.co.uk. This is KIC Radio.